A new partnership between the Davidson County District Attorney's Office and the YWCA is giving domestic violence survivors a second chance. Often they're charged with misdemeanor crimes as a result of the abuse they endure.
Now a new program is making sure they get the help they need without the fear of criminal prosecution. News 2's My Owens explains.
Metro Nashville 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
I've been out to this house 5 times and he's always the abuser. And this time I really didn't want to make the arrest, but he had a scratch on his face and I had to. And I hear that frequently.
They are stories from responding officers who are called to domestic violence situations. But the district attorney's office says too many times the victim ends up facing charges. We are identifying defendants who are survivors of domestic violence, who maybe they fought back at the wrong time, or their abuser was the first one to call the police. And we're diverting them from the criminal justice system and getting them supportive services with the YWCA. It's called the Survivors First program, aimed at redirecting domestic abuse survivors away from the criminal justice system if they're charged with a misdemeanor crime related to their domestic violence.
We understand the trauma associated with domestic violence, and that often leads an individual to doing actions that are really not typical of the individual, and so therefore this gives them a second chance.
Since the start of the program in June, there have been at least 40 cases diverted to the YWCA.
There's a huge psychological impact on an individual who's involved in a domestic violence relationship. And we're very much aware of that because of the work that we've done for decades. And so therefore we were very, very excited.
The DA's office is in charge of prosecuting a case, looking at each one. They'll decide if a person qualifies for the program and will then divert the defendant to the YWCA. After going through their program, the case is handed back to the DA's office where their record could be expunged. And each person who goes through this program are met with the full force of the YWCA, including their partners who help these survivors overcome their abuse and move forward in their lives.